Hey! Hey! Wait! Here we go!
It's tempting to say that Nintendo has done it again with Mario vs Donkey Kong. As a remake, it feels similar to last year's Advance Wars in that, unless my memory's failing me, it feels as close to one-to-one as you'd want, only with updated visuals, audio and some little tweaks that make it feel fresh and interesting, even if you somehow do remember the original Game Boy Advance game from some 20 years prior. Perhaps Nintendo has grown a bit tired of Mario being so pally with all his original enemies as well. With the Super Mario Bros. Movie, we saw him face off against Bowser properly again, and now he's chasing down Donkey Kong, who is angry that the new Mini Mario toy is sold out, and so he's decided, like any right-minded individual, that he's going to break into the factory and steal the whole lot. That's the basis for Mario vs Donkey Kong, and the levels are made up of Mario chasing DK through various biomes to get them back. But don't expect the standard platforming feel of a 2D side-scroller or even the new Mario Wonder. Mario has plenty of his favourite moves like jumping, handstands, backflips, etc. and can climb vines and that, but you won't be stomping on Goomba heads to take them out, because this is, after all, a puzzle game. Each world we've played is split into levels, and each level has two parts. In the first, you're going to be introduced to a mechanic or an idea, and often then you'll use it going forward as you progress. You'll find a gold key to unlock the door that Donkey Kong has passed through, then you'll access the second part of the level to grab a mini Mario toy. Toward the end of each world, you need to guide the Mario toys back to a chest, and then you face off against Donkey Kong in the final course of each world. Mario vs Donkey Kong has that very traditional, clever introduction technique that Nintendo has perfected over the years. You'll start off collecting all three of the optional presents with ease and waltz through every course, learning about how you can protect Mario's head by walking in a headstand position. But before long, you'll be cursing your luck as a projectile clips you during the end of world boss fight, meaning you don't get that coveted perfect score at the end of the level. While the levels are essentially platforming based, it's worth noting that Mario has a stiffness to his movement that takes some getting used to. General movement's fine, but the feeling is that Nintendo doesn't really want you to jump around too much, and that platforms can be sometimes just walked onto. After a few worlds, however, you do become accustomed to how this iteration of Mario moves, and there are some ideas that do feel a bit opposed to what we know about Mario, but it still feels great overall. The courses are varied so far too, from simple red and blue switch gates to having to use moving platforms, vines and a whole lot more. Each of the mini Mario toy levels and DK boss fights are highlights and rewards almost for getting there. The toy levels see however many you've rescued following Mario as he moves. Being mini, they can't all do the movement skills he can, so you've got to get clever about how they move around. It's an ingenious idea, and even then the amount you save directly affects how many hits you can take in the final Donkey Kong fights that end each world. With a whole lot more levels to test out, I can already see the difficulty slowly climbing, and I can see a time coming where I'll be replaying over and over trying to get that perfect text appearing on screen. The visuals look lovely, and the soundtrack, aside from one repeating song, is pretty nice too. The word charm is used a lot in games these days, but the cutscenes to the animations and everything else, it is a superb looking experience. And while it may not seem like a massive game, co-op changes each level so that it's a slightly altered version instead of just adding another player. Really, I have nothing to complain about so far, and Mario vs Donkey Kong is looking like yet another stellar remake in the Nintendo catalogue. Mario vs Donkey Kong is set for release on February 16th for Nintendo Switch. We hope you enjoyed our very short preview of Mario vs Donkey Kong. We'll have more to say about the game soon, as you can imagine. Other than that, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button so you never miss any content that we put out there. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.